pussy ass little bitch needles in me, sex toys, trauma shit going on, ripping from the inside out, having these flashbacks, an intense amount of pain, huge glass balls. Oh, hey everyone, it's Channon Rose, and I'm going to be doing a story time today about how I was traumatized by my doctor.
It started with her, she looked like a witch. It started with her, she turned out a bitch.
Now this actually happened recently, last week to be exact, and I ended up crying like a little bitch all the way home from my doctor's appointment while I was in with the doctor. As you guys know, I have a lot of back pain and I have really bad anxiety. I've been trying to do some like holistic things to help with my back pain, so like physical therapy, meditation, acupuncture, things like that. So I made an acupuncture appointment, and I had only had acupuncture done once before, and it was a long time ago, and I wasn't really into it, so I never did it again, but I decided I'm gonna do it again. So I made this appointment, and the night before the appointment, I was having trouble falling asleep because I was having like this weird pain in my leg, and I don't really know how to describe it. It wasn't restless leg syndrome, it was like, I don't even know how to describe it. It wasn't like super painful, but it was like annoying enough to where like I couldn't sleep, and it was just like giving me anxiety. I was up really late and I couldn't fall asleep until like I was so tired that I just finally ended up falling asleep. So the next morning I woke up and I still had this leg pain, and then I started having like really bad anxiety, because if you know me, I just start like freaking out. Like I'm constantly thinking of the worst thing that could possibly happen. It's awful. If you have anxiety disorder, generalized anxiety disorder, panic attacks, you kind of know what I'm talking about. And just so you know, I told this story like on my vlogging channel, so if you've already watched that, then like sorry, this is gonna be like a rerun, but I really wanted like my main channel to hear about the story because it was kind of funny. So I go into the acupuncture place, and my husband came with me because I was just kind of nervous, and I thought I would feel more comfortable with him there with me. So I go in and I talk to him or whatever, and he's like, stick out your tongue. So I stick my tongue out at him, you know, and he's like, okay. And then he takes my pulse, and he's like, you're definitely anemic. And I was like, no, I'm not. Because I've had like a bunch of blood tests done, and all of them said that my like iron levels were fine. So I'm definitely not anemic. So that's what I told the doctor. He's like, I don't care what your doctor said. They're wrong and you're anemic. And I was just like, whoa, okay. Like, okay. It's like ancient Chinese medicine. He must have known his shit, because he was very positive that I was anemic. So I was just like, okay, well, his confidence convinced me that I was anemic, and so I was like, okay, I'm definitely gonna be taking iron pills after this. So he has me lay down, and it's like this like heated bed, and it's like really comfortable, and they have like this like meditation like Buddha music playing, and it's just like all peaceful and relaxing. And he starts putting the needles like, you know, in my hands, my arm, my feet, my legs. So he puts the needles all over me. And if you had acupuncture before, it really doesn't hurt like when the needles go in. Sometimes you barely feel it, and then sometimes you might feel a little pinch, so it really wasn't that bad. Trust me, I've been in a way worse pain, so this was like nothing. But like in certain spots that he had put it, it almost felt like he had like maybe got a nerve or something, because it was like kind of uncomfortable. But it was only in like 1 or 2 places, so whatever. So he's like, okay, we're gonna let those bake for a minute. Oh, I think I have to sneeze. Okay, sorry. So he puts the needles in and he leaves the room, and I'm like, I'm like, vlog a little bit of the needles, because I really, because I wanted to like put it in for my vlogging channel. So we filmed a little bit of it, and I'm just sitting there and I'm like, okay, I don't really like being left with a bunch of needles in me. Like if there was like an earthquake, or like, you know, like my mind is just like going in like the worst places. And a lot of people are like, oh, it's so relaxing getting acupuncture and like all this shit. Well, like I wasn't that relaxed. I think if I was just laying there with no needles in me, like yeah, I'd be relaxed, but I definitely wasn't relaxed. I was just like, okay, like I'm trying to relax, but I can't, so let this be over already. So finally he comes in, and I'm thinking like, oh, thank God, like it's over. So he comes in and he kind of just brushes with his fingers like all the little needles, so I can like feel it, you know, all over. And he's like, okay, looking good, a few more minutes. And then he walks out again, and I'm like, God damn it, like I thought I was fucking done. I didn't get out of it that easy. So he leaves again, and then I'm like, oh damn it, like I still have a few minutes. So then he comes back and he takes all the needles out, and I'm like, oh, thank God it's done and I can leave. Nope, that wasn't the case. He's like, okay, I'm gonna have you flip over on your stomach. And I'm like, oh shit, like he's gonna put needles in my back now? Like what the fuck? I'm gonna be here forever. So he's like, okay, we're gonna do some cupping. And I was like, oh, okay, I didn't know about this. I had seen cupping before, so I kind of knew what it was, but I'd never had it done to me before. So I was just like, okay, cool, like we're gonna do something else. Like even though I kind of just like wanted to be done, because I was having kind of anxiety, and I just like, I get kind of like, what is the word? Like antsy and like anxious. I don't like being in the same place for too long of a time. That's just like how I was feeling. I was like, okay, I'm ready to leave, you know, I'm very impatient. So I turn around, I flip over, and I see these huge glass balls, right? And they're like little cup balls or whatever. It looked like something out of a sex shop. Like, I know that that sounds really bad, but but that's just like what it looked like. They look like sex toys that he was like putting on my back. So the doctor is grabbing these sex toys, and I'm just looking at them like, you've got to be kidding me right now. Like, that does not look like medical at all. That looks like a sex toy. So he puts them on my back, and all of a sudden he starts suctioning them. As soon as he suctioned them, I felt like an intense amount of pain, and I'm like, is it supposed to hurt? And he's like, oh no, it's not supposed to hurt at all. Okay, and this is the thing. It's not that like I'm not an assertive person. I just don't like hurting other people's feelings. So I cared more about the doctor than I did like being in pain, because I didn't want to like say like, this hurts me, like I don't like what you're doing to me, like will you stop? So I kind of just let him keep putting them on, and then once all of them were on, like he wasn't even done. He was probably putting like the last one on. I was like, I don't like this. Like, I was in so much pain, you guys. Like, I literally, okay, so let me just show you. I have a scar on my back from when I broke my back, and I've had like multiple surgeries. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see it. So I don't know if you guys can like see my scar, but it goes like all the way up my back. He was putting like a suction thing, like one here, one here, one here, one here, like all the way up my back. And where my scar is, it literally felt like my scar and the muscles were like ripping from the inside out when he had all those suction balls on there. And I was like in so much pain, and I'm like holding back tears because I want to fucking cry so bad. It hurts so bad. And I just like, it got to the point where like I just couldn't take it anymore. Like I was like, I don't like this. I don't want to do it anymore. Can we take them off? And he's like, yeah, no problem. I'm like, it really hurts. I couldn't help it. I just started fucking bawling because I was in so much pain. All that pain to like my back, like where my scar was, like triggered me to have flashbacks from my car accident. And so then I was crying because I was like emotionally like, you know, freaking out a little bit. It was just not good, right? So he gets all of the balls off me, and as soon as the balls were off, like my back didn't hurt anymore, but I was still crying because I was like emotionally upset because I was like having these flashbacks. And so I think the doctor thought that I was still in pain even though the balls were off. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna get some lint. And I'm like, what the fuck? I don't even know what lint is, but I couldn't even think about like what he was saying to me because I was like in my own like emotional fucked up trauma shit going on. He leaves the room, and then he comes back right away, and he starts putting this like lint cream or whatever on my back. I guess I should look that up because I really still don't know what it was. I think it was like icy hot times 1,000, because I swear to you guys, like my fucking back was on fire all the way home, that even when I got home, I had to fucking take a shower like right away because that shit was burning my back. But anyways, on top of like all of this, I am like freaking out because I don't know what the fuck he's putting on my back, and I already have anxiety like really bad. So anything new that like you're putting on me, it's getting into my bloodstream, it might fucking kill me. I don't know. And that's like the way that my mind, I know it sounds crazy to you guys, but that's the way that my mind works. And so I was like having an anxiety attack now because whatever the fuck you put on my back. I'm also like having these flashbacks. So I'm like still crying. I'm crying this whole time. The doctor's I probably freaked out the doctor. Not only like, I don't even know if I freaked him out, but he probably just thought like, you're the most annoying pussy ass little bitch patient I've ever had in my life. Like that does not even hurt. But for me, like it hurt really bad. And I don't know if it's because like of all the trauma that I've had there and like all the scar tissue, and it was like suctioning it apart or something. I don't know. But regardless, I was fucking crying the whole time, and I couldn't stop fucking crying. And like even as we were leaving the office, like I could not stop crying, and it was like really bad. I was like fucking traumatized. Like literally that doctor suctioning my back traumatized the fuck out of me and gave me flashbacks and all kinds of fucked up things. And I know that that's probably like not normal. So on the way home, I'm still crying, I'm still upset, and it's not because I'm in pain, it's because I'm having anxiety now because whatever the fuck shit was on my back was like literally on fire, and I did not like it. It was like a really weird feeling. So Travis is like, babe, like after your accident, did you ever like talk to anybody about it, like a therapist or anything? And I'm like, no, I didn't, because when I was in my accident, like, you know, I was paralyzed from the waist down. I could barely walk. Like everybody was focused on like my physical well-being and not so much my emotional well-being. And sometimes when you're in like a really bad accident like that, you can get like PTSD or like just like, you know, emotional shit that like you don't deal with or don't talk about really. So it kind of brought up a good point, like, oh my god, like maybe I need to fucking go talk to somebody so that I don't have these like fucking issues anymore like in a doctor's office, because that's just like, not only is it so fucking embarrassing to be like that in front of like people like you don't know, especially like the first time I've ever gone to this doctor, but like it's also just not fun for me either, or my husband have to deal with. So I think I'm done talk to a therapist because I was kind of traumatized, and now I need to go talk to a therapist and try to figure out these emotional things. But you would probably think that it's because I had such a bad experience I would never go back there again, but I actually have an appointment tomorrow because he wanted to see me a week later. Oh, and he put me on these fucking iron pills that have like these herbs in them, and I have no idea what the herbs are, but they make me hyper as fuck and like super confident. So if you've been watching any of my Snapchats lately, you probably have a good laugh because I'm all kinds of weird on there. And yeah, these iron pills are making me kind of hyper, but they make me feel kind of better too because I have more energy. Anyways, I know that the story was not like super funny, but it was just kind of like traumatic, and I thought I'd tell it to you guys. So if you guys liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, leave me a comment down below. What kind of video do you guys want to see next? I'm sending you guys all my love and all my positive energy, and I hope to see you in my next video. Mwah!